Another one of the most basic parameters in a material is its opacity. I've got my logo material active here, and you will see opacity here. I can bring that down to, let's say, 50%. And now you can see I can actually see through my object. Let's do an active shade rendering of that so we can get a little bit better understanding of what this is really going to look like. As you can see, it's not a very convincing transparency. We're not seeing the bending of light as it moves through the object. A transparent object actually bends light. That's called refraction. To get that effect, I can't do it by just adjusting the opacity. Set that down to 10. You see, it's just basically making it see-through in a kind of a 2D fashion. Okay, I'll set the opacity back up to 100%. And if I want refractions, I'll need to go into the Maps rollout down here. I'll open that up. In the Maps rollout, you'll see a list of all of the material parameters that could potentially be mapped. In other words, that could be varied or modulated by some other factor, like, for example, an image. In this case, I'm concerned with the refraction channel. Here it is. All of these things that say none here are actually buttons. And if I click on the button that says none, I'll get the material map browser up again. What I'm looking for here is a map called Ray Trace. Here it is under Maps, Ray Trace. And I'll double click on that. It takes a moment to think about it, but now you can see that I'm getting a simulated refraction in my viewport. There are some parameters here in the material editor, but I don't really need to adjust any of those. In fact, it's doing everything sort of automatically. It's automatically applying a refraction here. However, if I try to get back to my main material parameters, you'll see that I can't see them here. And the reason is now we've drilled down inside of the map. These are the map parameters. I need to get back up to the top level of the material. And one way for me to do that is to click this button here that says Go to Parent. That will take me up one level. And now I'm back up at the material parameters. If I want the color to show through here, I can reduce the refraction amount. Let's say I knock that down to 50%. And now you see I'm getting a tinted glass effect. If the refraction is not at 100%, then the diffuse color will blend. And you can see I've got a diffuse color of orange here. The opacity is usually left at 100% when you're using a refraction map. That was a very basic introduction to using the material editor in 3ds Max. And in the next chapter, we'll look at using maps.